Welcome to Rise and Grind, my mixed media locked Ironman account. In this series, I'll be grinding both old school RuneScape and the real world and sharing bits about my life in between. Let's get ready to grind. Alright, ignore my crazy inventory right now, but what I'm doing at the moment is working towards 70 agility, which is a Song of the Elves requirement. However, there's actually a couple levels after 70 that are pretty useful to have. And so while I'm in the agility training mindset, I think I'm going to just try to knock them out of the way. So some of the important levels are at level 61. That's a requirement for the Mauritania Hard Diary. So there's a shortcut in the advanced spike chain in the Slayer Tower that requires 71 agility. So I think just with quests, to even get to Song of the Elves, I'll hit 71 from 70 or maybe get close to it. But there's actually a couple other levels that are important too. So one of them is, if I find it on the map here, this shortcut right here to get to the farming patch at Trollheim. This is one of the disease-free patches. I think back when I played years ago, this was locked behind an achievement diary, like the Fremi Hard Diary maybe. But I believe it's now just an agility requirement. So as long as you have 73 agility, you can use it. This is a minor convenience, but I think it will be helpful to get in the long run. Another agility level that I think will be important is in the Rev Caves. This level 75 jump. I at some point will be killing some Revenants and killing some Wildy bosses. I think it'll be useful to have these jumps just to potentially escape or get around the cave a little bit easier. So I think that's another useful level as well. And ultimately, it's not too far from my initial goal of 70. Don't tell me how many hundreds of thousands of more experience it is, because I know it's actually a lot, but it doesn't feel like it's very far. So I'm not going to keep training agility to 99 or even level 80 at this point in time. But I think if I try to set myself up with level 75 agility, I'll be in a good place for a long while. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm at the worm course right now. It's pretty lazy agility training. I think you can get like 40k XP an hour here, which isn't as good as the rooftop course in Sears Village, but it's less clicks and you can pay attention less and be not as inefficient. However, at 70, I'll probably go over to the desert, Polovnich, or however you pronounce that town name, and do the course there, because I think it'll be much better XP per hour. And hopefully I can wrap up getting the Graceful set as well. I have a lot of these termites in the bank. I might have enough to buy full Graceful now, but the fact of the matter is Graceful is, from my understanding, it's a lot less useful than it used to be. I remember on my original old Ironman, I kind of rushed getting Graceful at the Canifis course because that was the meta, and without Graceful, a lot of things were pretty awful. But with the run energy adjustments that I think were just a year ago, maybe 2 years at this point, it doesn't really feel that bad running around without Graceful right now. So not a big deal. Now, as far as why my inventory is the way that it is, I was planning on doing this hard clue scroll where I need blue D'hide Vambraces. Hold on, let me feed this cat real quick, or this kitten. I was planning on doing this clue scroll where I need blue D'hide Vambraces. I have 61 crafting, so I can boost +5 to get 66 and craft them. However, I realized that my kitten was still about 20 minutes away from being fully grown, and it's really annoying to get spices with the kitten. So I'm just doing some agility while it grows into a cat, so then I can go down into Evil Dave's basement and grab the spices. But while I'm at crafting the blue Dragonhide Vambraces, what I'm also going to do is upgrade my small meat pouch and medium fur pouch to the large variants, because I found while hunting the sunlight antler guys, I forget what they're called, but these guys over here, sunlight antelopes, yeah. When hunting these guys for the hunter contracts, it is really annoying to have the small meat pouch because this only fits 14 meat, and you need to catch about 25 to 30 of them per hunter rumor. So having the large meat pouch will mean that I can put 28 meat in there. I can actually store all the meat. I don't have to get my inventory all messed up. And then also I may as well just make the large fur pouch while I'm at it. These both require 65 crafting, so I've got the furs in my inventory, ready to make these as well once I get the boost and just get that all out of the way. Hopefully there aren't any other things crafting wise that I'm missing out on by uh, once I get this boost, but I think like a power ammy is level 70, so I can't quite reach that yet. So this should be fine, but I will see you on the other side when my kitten is fully grown and I have a crafting boost. All right, let's try to get this boost. And first try. Okay, let's see. Make the Vambraces. Okay, upgrade that thing. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. That was a bit easier than I expected. I guess I'll save some of these spices for later, but got the +5 boost first try. Got some extra spices. Now let's bang out this hard glue. Let's see what I get. Okay, a couple collection log slots actually. Not bad. Oh wow. I opened these mediums not thinking I was going to get anything, but this Amulet of Power is actually an upgrade for me. I haven't gotten this through any other sources. I've been kind of lazy trying to acquire a diamond amulet. But this Amulet of Power is actually my best in slot, like ranged amulet, and maybe magic amulet too, I guess. I think the Amulet of Strength is better for melee, but this is going to be the best I have until I get a glory eventually as well. So that's actually kind of nice. And let's see if this medium gives me anything. A master clue that I probably can't do. Oh, I think I actually already have a master in the bank. Yeah, I already have a master that I can't do because this requires a Barrow's teleport tablet, and I don't really feel like dropping it because I'm probably not going to be able to do any master. So I'll keep these guys in the bank for a while. I was using a normal cat, which became a Hellcat for grinding those spices in the basement, but I was doing some research on the wiki, and afterwards I discovered that they now have these like mega rats that you can fight to guarantee certain spices, and it's best if you use a wily cat for those. So for future spice boosts that I need, I decided to get a wily cat, which I already did rat catcher, so it's as simple as talking to this person in the rat catcher's basement and giving them a name. So named my cat Fluffy after my IRL cat, and now I have a wily Hellcat in the bank, which is ready to be used next time I need a spice boost. 70 agility will be rolling in here momentarily. I kind of stacked up my marks of grace and termites into my inventory here. I believe if I did my math right that I need 2,800 termites to buy the packs of Amelie or whatever from the shop here to have exactly enough marks of grace to buy full graceful. This means that I don't have enough termites to get the recolor graceful from this area. So I might just do this some more because it's fairly AFK. There we go, 70 agility. Very nice. I might chill at this course a little bit longer just because it's pretty, I can do it fairly inefficiently. I have like the idle notifier plugin. If I turn it on here, you can't see that, but I have it so that it turns my screen a little bit red whenever I stop moving for more than a second or two. So after this obstacle, I won't move. And so that kind of just reminds me to look at the monitor and click the next obstacle. Yeah, so you can see the screen goes a little red. I'll turn that off for now. But that's how I've been doing this agility while focusing on other tasks, let's say. And my XP per hour has been pretty inefficient. If I add this to canvas, 22.5k XP per hour, pretty low. I did do a little bit of thieving in between actually, but fairly low XP per hour overall, but it gets some agility training out of the way. And since I am going to continue training agility to at least level 75, not necessarily all in one batch, I'm actually going to pause on this after today for a little bit, but in future videos, you'll see me training agility up to level 75 for sure. But I think it would be cool to, while I'm here, at least get the graceful recolor from this shop, because I do think that this graceful recolor looks pretty cool. And it just would be fun to have for the collection log. And this is way more AFK agility than if I moved over to the Paul of Nietzsche course. However, when I am actively training agility, I'm going to move over to the rooftop courses because it's going to be way more XP per hour than remaining here. Especially if I can get the desert hard diaries done. I'm not sure if that's really in my if that's going to be possible, because I haven't really checked the requirements here. I can do the mediums if I do a quest. I need Dream Mentor, which I can actually do now for this. 65 Slayer, yeah. So I have to do Desert Treasure as well. These levels are going to be pretty easy. I'm going to get them in short order. But 65 Slayer is kind of tough. Maybe I'll do that before training more agility. I'm not exactly sure yet, but if I do finish the hard diary, this actually it increases the number of marks of grace you get from the course by a decent margin. I'm not sure if it changes the XP rate. I don't think it does, but it does increase the marks of grace, which would be very useful if I'm going past level 70. Just because this is literally, I have exactly 2,800 now. I'm going to be spending every single mark of grace I have on graceful, and I will want more eventually for stamina potions and stuff. I'm kind of far off from that, but it would be nice to start accumulating them. So I will, hopefully I did my math right and I have enough for full graceful now. And if so, I'll see you over at the graceful factory. Also, in case you didn't know, my marks of grace strategy here is you can buy these Emily's packs. I'm just going to buy all of them and hope I didn't, I guess I can't quite buy all of them, but you can sell these allegedly back to the person, maybe it's Grace is the name of the NPC, but you should be able to sell them for 8 marks of grace each if you don't open them. And so this is how you can actually transfer your resources from the Brimhaven course and also from this course. I should be able to, yeah, you can see the value here is 8 marks of grace. So I can sell these, and now I have 196 marks of grace. So I'm going to do one more trip, and I should have enough to buy everything. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, and I did my math correctly. I now have exactly 260 marks of grace, and as long as I don't fumble any of these buy ones, boom, that is full graceful acquired. And a bunch of collection log slots. Oh, I also just remembered another agility shortcut while I was looking through my unlocks at level 70 that I forgot to mention before, but is actually another useful shortcut that I'll be getting, which is that they added this zipline shortcut at level 74 when you teleport to the house on the hill using the dig site pendant. Interestingly, when I do my birdhouse runs, this isn't usually that relevant because what I'll do is I'll teleport here, use the mushroom to go over to this area, do these 2 birdhouses, teleport over here, do the north birdhouse, do the south birdhouse, and then I'll just run over to the rowboat and take it to the tiny island and go up here. So I don't actually need this zip line. It's not really something that's super helpful. However, in the future, if I want to do seaweed, seaweed runs more often, seaweed grows faster than birdhouses are ready. So I could always teleport here and quickly take the zip line, do my seaweed, and then go back to my activity and then do the birdhouses later if they get out of sync. But also when I actually have a mounted dig site pendant in my house, it'll be convenient to have the zip line ready. Also, I think there's a clue step over here too, so it's a little faster to get to that. But it's just kind of a minor handy thing to get that 75 agility will help me with as well. To break up my agility grind, I decided to get back to some AFK Karambwan fishing as well with the goal of hitting 70 cooking because this is a requirement for the recipe for disaster quest. It's also just another base level 70 skill that will be useful to have in the future and also just keeping up my food stock. So I fished some Karambwans while I was AFK. I got a lot of Karambwanji as well to support my fishing of Karambwans. And then I spent some time at the Hosidius range cooking all these Karambwans up to hit 70 cooking and have a nice little stack of Karambwans going forward. Damn, Daniel. And nothing. All right, another few hunter rumors done. Let's grab another rumor for next time, but that is hunter level 76. And I only got about 100 antler bolts. I actually got really lucky on my few antler tasks and didn't have to hunt the full 30. So I didn't get as many antler bolts as I wanted, but here's another 6 hunter sacks. Let's see if I get any more pieces of the set. Oh, there we go. The hunter top. That is now 2 of the 4 pieces. I have the head and the top now. Let's see if I can get lucky and get another piece. And nada. But that is 111 hunter rumors, so I'm still on drop rate for these tops. I would expect to finish the set around 200 rumors, so far so good. This will make my catch rate improve a tiny bit, a little bit less max pity required, so it's a good find to get, and I could throw it in my hunter's kit if I had enough room to stick it all in there. Bada bing, bada boom. And hello, 71 agility. There we go. All right, I'm back at the worm agility course. If you look in the top left, you can see I've gained about 115k agility XP today. I did hit level 71, and I'm about halfway to level 72. And what I was trying to do today was just get enough termites to get the graceful recolor. And also, there's a teleport that you can buy from this shop, as these are all part of the Colossal Worm Agility collection log. There is one slot that I won't be filling today, which is the calcified acorn. This costs 900 termites, which at my XP rates, I was able to get 700 termites in about 4 hours. So maybe another hour and a half to get 900. So let's say 6 to 7 hours to get the calcified acorn. But there's not really a purpose in me buying this just for the collection slot right now because I don't have the pet. So this is used to recolor the squirrel pet and turn it into like a cool skeleton squirrel, which would be fun to buy. And if I do get the pet, I'll probably come back here and just get these termites and buy this. But it seems kind of silly to try to buy it just for the slot when I don't have that many collection logs as it is. This would just be burning a hole in my bank for no reason. So what I am going to buy here is a teleport scroll that is completely useless. I don't know why you would waste your termites on this, really, but it is a collection log slot, so I did want to buy it, and I'm just going to get rid of it because I can just take the bird teleport here. But what I do want is the graceful recolor. This turns my graceful. Not only is it 6 collection log slots, but it turns my graceful into something that looks a lot more cool, themed after what this construction worker looks like. And it looks way more interesting. So I'll be rocking this graceful for the time being. And also I'm going to swap over to running rooftops again for agility for a bit. Floating ladder, I see. Interesting. At this point, I decided to spend a lot of my AFK time doing magic again, and the goal of Blue Dragons is to actually stack up enough dragon bones to unlock piety. So I spent a long amount of AFK hours getting like 30k mage XP per hour. I think I spent over 10 hours here in just like these next few clips, killing blue dragons, grabbing their bones, getting the magic XP, wasting a lot of chaos runes. But also, once I was close to level 75, I decided to bang out Mage Arena 2. I always call it Mage Training Arena, but that's just a different nightmare. A lot of Mage Arena 2 in order to get the updated or the upgraded imbued magic cape. And so did a lot of blue dragons, got my magic cape out of the way, and stacked up bones so that I could hit piety. All right, I'm over here at the Dragon Bone Factory, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm doing for training magic now that I have my fancy Mage Arena 2 cape, and I'm out here hunting dragon bones. I have 2 levels to go. I'm actually pretty close to level 76 magic, and then 1 more level to go until I hit my super glass make threshold that I've been seeking, which I think dragons won't quite get me all the way there. I'll probably do some alching and some other things to get all the way there. But what these dragon bones will do is get me very close to, if not at 70 prayer, depending on how many I end up killing today. And the way that I've been tracking this, I want to show off. Let me just make sure these Dragon bones don't despawn real quick. But there's a plugin that's called Banked XP. So if you look up Banked XP in the plugins hub, there's this Banked Experience plugin. You can see I have it installed. And it adds this tab to RuneLite where you can actually see, you can select a bunch of different skills. So you can see like your farming banked XP as well. I apparently have 83 farming banked right now if I used up all my seeds. But the prayer tab is really interesting because there's a bunch of different methods you can use to train prayer, and this lets you select between them. So obviously, first off, if you have any of the Zealots outfit, you can click which ones you have and it'll change your banked experience because that's kind of just like a flat multiplier on top of things. But the other interesting thing you can do is you can include and exclude items. So you can see if I include Ensouled Dragon Heads, my ending experience increases a bit. And then when I hide them, it goes down. I can't actually use these Ensouled Dragon Heads, so I've gotten 21 so far. I can't use them yet because you need 90 magic to cast the spell in order to get the prayer XP from them. So for now, I've excluded them so that it doesn't mess up my calculations. And if there's any bones that you don't want to use, like for example, big bones, maybe I'd want to save those for the Giant Soul Amulet. I'm not going to use these for prayer XP, so I can ignore this item too. I have 3 of them in my bank, so it's not really messing up my calculations, but for good measure, I can hide them. And so I was messing around with these calculations for a bit because originally my plan was to do Blessed Bone Shards and kind of do the lazy non-wilderness way of prayer experience. And one way you could do that is by default, the activity for using Dragon Bones is just going to be by using the bones directly. But if you select Blessed Bone Shards here, this will update the calculator to instead calculate your prayer XP as if you've turned all these Dragon Bones into Bone Shards. And then on the Bone Shards themselves, you can see how many you will have after turning all your Dragon Bones into them and choose which type of wine you'd want to use. So for example, if I just used Blessed Wine, all these Dragon Bones turned into Blessed Bone Shards would give me 65 prayer. If I use Sunfire Wines the whole way, I would instead get level 67 prayer. However, and this was originally my plan, by the way, but I realized that if I just sucked it up and went to the Wilderness Altar, even though it's kind of annoying, and sometimes you'll lose some bones, the amount of prayer XP I get increases by a lot because you basically get 2 times the the way that works is about like 700% prayer XP of the base rate because you get about 2 bones per bone because you save 50% of your bones. I forget exactly what the calculations look like, but anyways, you can see that here this says 504 XP. On average per Dragon Bone, I'm going to get 504 XP instead of, the 70 whatever you get for burying it, or just the 252 that you get from using it on a Gilded Altar, for example. And you could also see if I just went to the Ectofuntus, how much would I get? I have level 66 prayer. But you can see here, I'm actually pretty close to level 70 prayer if I use all my Dragon Bones at the Wilderness Altar, and then also use Sunfire Wines for my Blessed Bone Shards. And these Blessed Bone Shards basically all came from Varlamore Hunter, and I think you get these for Veil Totems too. I can't remember exactly. But Hunter, Veil Totems possibly, and then also the Agility Course, which doesn't give that much. But I think Hunter gives a lot of these Sun-Kissed bones, which end up breaking down into Bone Shards. So anyways, my plan for today is, right now it's a Friday afternoon. I'm planning on, while I'm still doing AFK activities, continuing to kill dragons in this way, collect as many bones as I can. I might get exactly 70 banked, but again, I plan on maybe dying a couple times. I'm going to lose a couple inventories. I made some burning amulets this morning. I'm going to go 1 inventory at a time tomorrow morning when I wake up, which is around like 5 a.m. Pretty low player count, and just do the burning amulet strategy to teleport to the lava maze, run over to the wilderness prayer thing, and then use the bones on the altar, and hopefully don't get PK'd at all. You'll see some clips of that in the future. But my goal is, I may not actually get enough bones to hit 70 prayer, but I'm going to get really close. And I'm planning on still doing a bunch more Hunter rumors because I'm still only 76 Hunter. I want to get up to 83 ideally. Hunter rumors are kind of fun. I need to kill more antelopes to get more bolts for my crossbow. So that's going to get me a bunch more Blessed Bone Shards as well. And I think that will definitely get me to level 70. So I'm going to have level 70 banked slash get most of the grinding out of the way for that in pretty short order. And that's going to be another big requirement, which I need for the Mauritania diary. And it's probably one of the harder requirements necessary for the Mauritania hard diary before I want to do barrows. So if I check in real quick, once I grab these bones, so again, they don't despawn. But if we check real quick what is necessary for the Mauritania hard diary, there is 70 prayer, piety, and king's ransom. So I still need to do the quest, but it's a pretty short quest. And then I can harvest bittercat mushrooms. I just haven't done this yet. 58 slayer is probably the only other requirement I have, and that's actually pretty easy. I mean, I am 50 or I'm 43 slayer, so experience wise, it's actually going to take a little bit of time to get there, but obviously killing cave horrors is very useful for the account. So this is like a great grinding thing to do in general. And I'm very close to 50 construction. I'm actually planning on doing some winter Todd soon. I may just hit it passively there. If not, I have some planks for doing the mini game to get 50 construction and do Desert Treasure 1. But I have everything that I need for the medium diary as well. I just haven't done it yet. But this is going to unlock barrows for me, which I may not grind right away. I may not actually go ahead and unlock this within the next couple videos. Maybe I will. It depends on what I'm motivated to do. But at the very least, the 70 prayer requirement will be out of the way, and I'll have access to piety, which will just be very useful to even just do Slayer in general. So having piety and using that to get 58 Slayer and beyond will be very useful. I've actually never done that on an account before. Usually it takes me a really long time to get piety because I'm lazy. But this time I've kind of focused on prayer a lot more. And so piety will come really early before I've really done any actual Slayer at all. So that's a little tease of what's ahead. And I think after this will probably be some clips of me praying or doing prayer at the wilderness altar, and hopefully there's no clips of me getting PK'd. So enjoy. I have currently level 69 prayer banked. If I refresh this calculator, boom, that is almost exactly level 70 prayer banked. So my dragon bones are looking in pretty good shape. Again, I might lose some of these because I'm going to be going to the wilderness altar. So I still have 750 chaos runes. I'm probably just going to use these all at Blue Dragons to get some extra dragon bones. I'm also 76 magic, 125k XP to go. So I'll probably end up getting another, I don't know, 30 to 60k magic XP at dragons, get some extra bones in case I lose some. But that puts me in a good position for tomorrow morning. I'm not sure how quickly I'll be able to use these bones and if I can do it all in one session or if it'll be a couple, but 70 prayer is looking really good. Piety is just around the corner. All right, and wrapping up another round of 5 hunter rumors here. Let's see if these balloons have anything worth popping them for. I still actually haven't gotten a sunlight antelope task in a little while. Let's see if this is one. Oh, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. So I've done a lot of tasks without getting any additional bolts, but maybe this task I'll be able to get a few. But while we're here, let's see if we get anything interesting. Oh, sorry, I forgot I changed my left click so I don't accidentally open them. The Sunkissed bones are great to see. So that I could really lock in 70 hunter, but otherwise nothing new yet. All right, and this rumor is going to bring me to level 77 hunter. I add this on the screen here. It's getting about 110k XP an hour. I'll get my next rumor for next time. And that is level 77 hunter. I'm not even sure what this unlocks. Rainbow crabs. Okay, don't know what those are. But we have another 7 hunter balloons to pop. So let's go do that. And then I'm going to be just, I think I'm going to grab another agility level real quick while I'm watching some TV on the couch. I'm about an hour, a little over an hour away from 73 agility. And this is what I believe you need for the Trollheim shortcut, which would be very useful to have. Yeah, the Troll Stronghold wall climb, just when I'm doing my herb runs. It'll be a little bit faster. So that'll be a nice milestone to get. And then some more AFK stuff before I'm in Bone City tomorrow morning. But without further ado, let's see if I can get another. I think the pants are next for me if I do get a piece. And oh, I forgot I have more than 5 this time. And nothing. All right, wrapping up some agility on the couch with, of course, my dog next to me. This is getting me 73 agility, which will allow me to use that shortcut in the troll stronghold to make my herb runs very slightly faster. This should do it. There we go, 73 agility. So there's still a couple more levels to go before I pause for a long time training agility, but I'm going to get some quest XP from this as well. But I'm almost at 1,000,000 agility XP. I'm going to need about another 250k or so to get to level 75. So I'll slowly get that over the next couple weeks, I think, and then park agility for a long time. All right, I am here at the prayer factory. It is 5:20 in the morning, and I wanted to show you what technique I'm using here. This is the Lazy Man's Wilderness Altar prayer training. I actually used the last charge of my amulet, but what I do here at the end is suicide on the KS Fanatic. I also am using a plugin here called Wilderness Player Alarm, which is why you'll see my screen blink yellow if a player happens to come about. Maybe I can log out in time, maybe not, but it's still a useful plugin to have regardless. But if I switch back here, I'm just grabbing an inventory of bones. I made some burning amulets, so equip a burning amulet, get all the bones, teleport to the lava maze, and then just run over to the altar. And then when I'm done using all the bones, I suicide on the Chaos Fanatic, which only takes a couple of minutes or a couple seconds really, and then continue on my way. And there's a player here. You can see actually the alarm working. This is a level 4. He's probably scouting. I don't know. There wasn't a player here just earlier, but it's good to show off the plugin. Yeah, and then once I'm in here, I moved my inventory to a slightly more convenient area. I have my quick prayer set up, so I have protect from magic on, just in case someone's gonna do something. I don't even know if that's the best protection prayer to rock here. But I also have protect item on, so maybe I'll save an extra dragon bone. But the prayer XP comes in pretty quickly when I'm doing this. I can actually quickly add to canvas. So this is my 3rd trip now, getting about 400k XP an hour. And it decreases a little bit because I have to suicide and I can't just like unnote the bones and keep going. But you can see it's also much faster when you click. I changed the left click of bones to be used so I don't bury them. And you can do this much faster than if you just like sit here and wait, you'll automatically use the bones. But it's really slow. It'll take you forever to go through them all. And the slower you take, the more risk of PKers there are. So all done here, and then I just run out, die on the Chaos Fanatic again, and rinse and repeat. And so I'll, if anything interesting happens, I'll check in. Otherwise, once I get closer to wrapping up using all these bones, I'll let you know. I started with like 896 bones, I believe, almost 900 dragon bones. So I'm going to use as many of them as I can this morning. Not sure how long that's going to take. And then we'll see how much XP left I need. Around 6 a.m. now, and I have 450 bones left, so I've used about half of my bones in 40 minutes or so. I'm averaging 353k XP per hour, and I have seen a couple PKers and a few other players that seem to just be training prayer, but I've been kind of hopping worlds regardless. Most of the PKers, I got clips of a couple of them, maybe one of them. But for the most part, they've been able to just transport me back to Lumbridge when I'm done. They take so long to kill me that I can just use up my entire inventory, or they happen to spot me when I'm already done. So I just say thank you for the teleport and let them kill me rather than using the Chaos Fanatic. So it hasn't really been that dangerous here. If a PKer happens to like log in under me while I have a full inventory and they actually just like melee me, like AGS spec me or something, then I'll lose all my inventory. But the only PKer that's attacked me so far has just tried to attack me with magic. They were trying to teleblock me and then like use some magic spells on me, and they barely did any damage before I used up my entire inventory. As you can see, like I'm just talking over it now, but it's pretty quick to use up an entire inventory. So even if you're getting attacked, unless they get some like big lucky hits, or they're just not hitting you with magic, they hit you with some ranged specs or something, you might die really quickly. But a lot of times you can just spam click and use your inventory really quickly before they even can kill you anyways. And I've also been shutting the door because a lot of people don't log in inside the altar. I've seen a lot of people running from outside of the altar in, and so I just close the door and it gives me a couple extra seconds to log out. As soon as my screen flashes yellow, I just like click the log out button. And that's gotten me away from a couple people, but the activity here is still pretty low at this time. And at this point, if I do lose an inventory or two, I think I'll still be fine in terms of experience that I have banked. But yeah, you can see it's like 350k XP an hour when you account for the various trips back to Lumbridge and dodging of PKers and that kind of thing. And also I've, let my dog go outside, got her back in. I'm brewing my second pot of coffee, or my second cup of coffee right now. Not second pot, because that's insane behavior, but second cup of coffee is on the way right now via my Nespresso maker. So I'm staying caffeinated and I'm waking up, but I should be done with this in like, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes. And then I'll be on to using my blessed bone shards and then hopefully hitting level 70. Another PKer came to get me. Sorry that in sped up mode, the yellow blinking is very distracting, but they were not able to kill me fast enough. I also I saw some people that were also doing this, were suiciding on the Wine of Zamorak. Because if you click it, it does a few damage, like you can see now. But this, I think, takes longer than just dying on the Chaos Fanatic. Because as you get lower health, it does less damage to you, and eventually just hits you for ones. So you have to click like 50 times or something just to die, and it doesn't seem worth it. But I don't know, maybe it is faster overall. And as I alluded to earlier, if you do happen to get specced out when you just get to the altar and you have a full inventory of bones, disaster can await you. I will also add that this is the only time in my hour and a half of grinding prayer that I actually lost any bones. So not bad overall. I was expecting to lose more than this. All right, this is basically my last inventory now. There's a guy named Wheat Thix underneath me, which is a pretty great name. I had to throw him a little compliment in the chat. Overall, I would say this is a great success. I think I lost like under 20 bones when I did die with an almost full inventory. I think I ended up losing like 12 or 16 or maybe 20 bones. Hopefully I don't just die right now and eat my words, but overall that's about what I was expecting to lose here. Actually less than I was expecting. I was kind of assuming I might lose like 2 inventories in total, but I ended up losing less than 1 inventory in total. So overall pretty good. You can see XP per hour went up a little bit, 366k. I guess it's going to go up right now because I'm actively clicking. But yeah, about 360k XP per hour, 440k XP gained. And once I'm wrapping up with this inventory, why is my character just very slowly moving up? It's kind of weird. Once I wrap up this inventory, I'll look at the banked XP calculator again and see how far off I am from level 70. Because again, remember, the banked XP calculator is assuming that I actually do average 2 bones per bone on this altar, which isn't necessarily going to happen. You can get lucky, you can get unlucky. So the numbers can be off a little bit. And also, I guess I still have 5 more dragon bones banked. But let me see, once I die on this guy, if we check the banked XP plugin now, I was taking a look at it earlier. If I refresh, yeah, it looks like I have 70 XP or level 70 banked still, um, based on my total amounts. So that's basically just once I use this stack of bone shards, and if I use Sunfire Wine for them, which I believe I have enough splinters for. Um, if not, I can always just hunt more of the sunlight antelopes because I need the bolts anyways. But I think you need 2 splinters per wine, which I think this may be already more than enough for the blessed bone shards, or the bone shards that I have in my bank. But that means that with the bone shards that I have, plus making some Sunfire Wines, I should be able to blast my way up to 70 prayer, and then can get piety. So I'm going to. It is just a little time check, and it's now 6:30 a.m. So that overall took me. I think I started at 5:20, so it took me like an hour and 10 minutes to use about 800 or 900 bones at the wilderness altar. I went through a few burning amulets, not really that many. I think I started with like 15 or so. So not that many trips overall. There's definitely a lot of clicking really quickly to try to just get through the inventories quickly. But I'm now going to resume my normal morning activities of, well, actually, I'm going to do a birdhouse run real quick, but then resume my normal morning activities of reading and drinking my coffee for a little bit. I do need to stock up on U-logs again for these runs. But after that, I'll be using up my Blessed Bone Shards after I go for my run this morning. I'll use up my Blessed Bone Shards, actually hit 70 prayer, do King's Ransom, unlock piety, and then the world is my oyster. Maybe I'll celebrate getting piety by actually doing some Slayer with melee today, because I do need whatever the Cave Horrors Slayer level is for the Canifis Hard Diary, which is why I'm getting 70 prayer in the first place. Yeah, I need level 58 Slayer to actually finish that diary off. So I'll do some Slayer today maybe, and then I was also considering Giant's Foundry is on the list. I do need actually my GP stores are gone now. I'm not sure if any of the clips I shared are going to contain my bank, but I have like under 100k GP, which is really sad to look at because Mage Arena 2 actually drained me dry. Having to buy blood runes to cast the spells, the god spells enough times in the Mage Arena to use them outside of it, and then also just the casts on each of the bosses themselves cost me like over 500k. And then I also have spent a bunch of money on the chaos runes to kill all the blue dragons that I've killed. So my money stores are very low, which means that buying items, Blast Furnace, or the Giant's Foundry, I mean, is kind of profitable. Ow, my cat's on my lap. Kind of profitable depending on what you buy, but you need some upfront investment in order to not have to keep making shop trips over and over again. So I need to bolster my funds a little bit. So maybe doing some Slayer, I might get some Alks and can do that, but that might be a tomorrow activity after some AFK thieving. But basically, also construction, getting that to 70 is going to be pretty fast once I have the GP available. So I'm kind of just trying to get my stats up to like base 70, even outside of Song of the Elves requirements, because it's just kind of good overall for the account. It helps with a lot of the diaries. If we look at Song of the Elves, yeah, I still need construction, herblore, and smithing. And the thing is, with herblore, I've been doing my farm runs. I've been doing my farming contracts to get seed packs, which is where most of my farming, where most of my herbs are coming from. And getting 70 herblore is kind of just a time investment where I think I can get up to like 65 or 66 via just doing more quests that have XP lamps. So I'm going to be doing that over time. But the last few levels are going to just come from passive farming runs, stacking up herbs, and then making a bunch of potions all at once. And so that means that if I just I can blast out 70 smithing and 70 construction in a day, maybe 2 days. Also, this morning ends part 2 is just staring at me. But I could do this in a few days, and then it's going to take a little bit longer to stack up enough herbs to actually get 70 herblore. So in the meantime, doing other things like getting base 70s overall is something that's very appealing to me in general. Doing lunar diplomacy and finishing off recipe for disaster and that kind of thing. So maybe some Slayer today, maybe some recipe for disaster so that I can get the Barrows gloves. and lunar diplomacy so I can unlock lunars and just get a bunch of the big quest unlocks out of the way that I've been lazy about are in my future. Now that I'm in the farming guild, a little farming update actually, now that it's been a little while since I've had my bottomless bucket. But I've been pretty diligently making ultra compost. I just plant watermelons here, throw them into the bin. I haven't been managing any other bins, just been doing this one. And so far, I have, oh, the check button didn't work. There we go, 771 uses of ultra compost, which is great. Every time I fill up this compost bin and make it into ultra compost and use it all, this is an additional 60 charges, I believe. And so this has been keeping me topped off, well beyond the topped off. And I've been getting enough watermelon seeds just from seed packs and such that I can kind of maintain adding these or planting these all the time and just adding them here. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I think this can hold up to 10,000 charges. Not sure if I'm going to go that far before I get lazy with it, but at the very least, I want to get a solid buffer of ultra compost in my bottomless bucket. I think I have like 300 more volcanic ash in my inventory or in my bank, which is another 6 times 60, 360 charges or so. So I'll probably mine. I've been mining like 1,000 at a time and then just using it. So going to keep gradually adding to my charges of the bottomless bucket until I have enough that I don't need to worry about it for like a month or two at a time. And once I get into doing farm runs like way more consistently, it'll probably require me to upkeep this yet again. But for now, I mostly just do the farming guild and I'll do a couple herb runs a day because I don't even have enough seeds to justify doing an herb run every 80 minutes. So it's not a huge deal right now. Also, actually, while I'm here, because I have this whiteberry bush, I have been pretty diligently collecting from this bush every time I pass it, and also the one that's at the monastery. And I have a decent stack of whiteberries right now. I haven't even actually looked at this. I just know that the stack must be decent because I get a good amount every time. Okay, yeah, I have 684 whiteberries already. That's like way more than the amount of catentines I have, which is 114. So my whiteberry production is way outpacing my ability to actually use them at the moment, which is really good. I'm just going to keep stacking them up while I can. Also, just a little tip for these allotment patches, you can like spam click on them and then harvest twice as fast. The same works for herb patches, but not for others, I believe. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't do it, but just a little pro tip while I'm here. But that's kind of the farming update where I'm at with some of my passive farming XP and what I'm doing in the guild. Also, I should probably mention I'm 73 farming right now, so I'm still a ways off from getting the hard contracts and unlocking this upper area. But I did start planting. Let's see, where's the timers? I did plant some hardwood trees. I have a couple mahogany trees growing, and also I started planting. I hit level 72, so I can plant these calquat patches. There's 2 of them now that I have access to because I added one in Kestori. I can't access the Great Conch yet because I don't have the sailing level, but in the next few weeks, I'll probably get in my goal of base 70s. I'll try to get up to 70 sailing, so I'll have access to this patch as well. And I think there's a hardwood patch. Yeah, Angler's Retreat has a hardwood patch, so there's a couple more things that I can get from sailing. But I don't have that many calquats right now, but I'm going to try to keep up with these 2 because this is like these 2 is 24k farming XP a day just from planting them. So there's a little farming update for y'all. Also, you don't need to equip the secateurs to make use of them. You used to have to, but they changed that a while ago. All right, and there you have it. That is 70 prayer and piety unlocked. You'll see I still haven't actually done King's Ransom, so I'm going to do that next so that I can start using piety. But Using up these bone shards is pretty quick. I'm getting 1,000,000 XP an hour right now, and my banking method is pretty inefficient, as you've seen. So it's quick to burn through all these, and this will be my last round through here. Spam clicking. And then Piety is unlocked, which is pretty nice for the account, and it's going to be, I mean, it's the best melee prayer I will ever have, unless they release new ones, I guess. So pretty nice unlock to get early out of the way before I've really even done any Slayer. Thank you so much for watching. I'm wrapping up editing this behemoth of a video right now. Let me know if you like the video. Leave a like on the video, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. I think I realized that I have a propensity for yapping, which I'm doing right now. I recognize that. But as a result, this video is way longer than I thought it was going to be, and it was my longest video by far. Don't necessarily think they're all going to be this long, but if you do like the format, let me know. I know there weren't as many IRL clips in this one. It just so happened that I didn't happen to film things, and all this grinding took place over the course of like 24 hours. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I'll see you next time.